The probability that we may fail in the struggle ought not to deter us from the support of a cause we believe to be just. I don't know who my grandfather was, I am much more concerned to know what his grandson will be. Achievement has no color. 87 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. When I get ready to talk to people, I spend 2/3 of the time thinking what they want to hear and 1/3 thinking about what I want to say. From whence shall we expect the approach of danger? Shall some transatlantic military giant step the earth and crush us at a blow? Never. All the armies of Europe and Asia could not by force take a drink from the Ohio River or make a track on the Blue Ridge in the trial of 1,000 years. No, if destruction is our lot we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we will live forever or die by suicide. Be with a leader when he is right, stay with him when he is still right, but leave him when he is wrong. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep on doing so until the end. No matter how much the cats fight, there always seem to be plenty of kittens. The Bible is not my book nor Christianity my profession. I could never give assent to the long, complicated statements of Christian dogma. We should be too big to take offense and too noble to give it. I have come to the conclusion never again to think of marrying, and for this reason, I can never be satisfied with anyone who would be blockhead enough to have me. If there is anything that links the human to the divine, it is the courage to stand by a principle when everybody else rejects it. The ballot is stronger than the bullet. You can have anything you want if you want it badly enough. You can be anything you want to be, do anything you set out to accomplish if you hold to that desire with singleness of purpose. My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. The greatest fine art of the future will be the making of a comfortable living from a small piece of land. 87 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. Hypocrite, the man who murdered his parents, and then pleaded for mercy on the grounds that he